Hey everyone, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and also share the video. Hey everybody, it's the Christian Jamaican Coolie back at it again with another video. And the topic of this video is going to be the Black American woman dilemma. And it's going to be a series as well. I'm going to continue my series about unspoken conversations, but I just wanted to do like a filler episode, like like filler episodes in animes. I want to do a filler episode. I want to cover something that I think that we really need to talk about as well. Maybe this should also be about but anyway, I want to talk about some problems that I think black women face. And before I even get into the video, I want to say this: I'm not here to bash men. I'm not here to bash women. I'm just here to give a perspective of what I see and maybe some advice on what I think we all could be doing to make the road a little bit smoother for each other. Okay. The first topic of this video is going to be the first video. The part one is going to be if a black woman says she doesn't trust you to lead. Now, man, I'm sure we've heard it a lot of times on the internet and sometimes in relationships. I've heard it before in relationships in the past where a girl would tell me, say, she doesn't trust me to lead her because whatever. You hear women on the internet saying that black men need to step up and black men not doing the right thing, that's why we don't trust them to lead and stuff like that. And to me, some of that is garbage, but there is a little bit of truth behind it, a little bit of truth. And before we go even any further, again, I want to reiterate what I just said earlier, in that I'm not here to bash neither men or women. I'm here to basically just speak the truth. Now, I'm not excusing any behaviors on the black women's side, and I'm not going to excuse behaviors on the black men's side. I want to hold everybody accountable for what they did or what they are doing. I want to hold everybody's foot to the fire so that way, we can basically just like, all right, there are some things that we need to change, and that's how we're going to get together or get along. First and foremost, black men, if you are in a relationship and a black woman, she tells you she doesn't trust you to lead her and stuff like that, my first advice to you would be to, and this sounds harsh, leave the relationship. Because there are several reasons why she is saying that, and I'm going to go through the most harsh first, and then I'm going to go through the least harsh afterwards. The first harsh part is that she may be comparing you to another guy that she thinks is a better man than you are, and she is wishing that she would be with that guy, and you are wishing that you were like that guy, and that she's now thinking that she's better than you are, and that she basically chose wrongly with dating you. So now she's put you in a position where you're not worth anything to her. She's behaving as if she's better than you are. She's behaving as if you're, below her, things like that. So most times when a girl says stuff like that to you, that's what she's basically saying without saying it. And my advice to you as a man is to not try to convince her otherwise, but to leave, find another relationship, and continue onward from there. Now, the next thing she could mean is that she grew up in a household with men that basically even probably weren't proper male role models, and she probably doesn't understand what you're doing. And what she's seeing with the males that she grew up with is something completely different. She's not used to it, and she could be rebelling against it. My advice to you on that part is that you may be able to reason with her, But if her family members were basically Pookies and Ray Rays, even if the dad was a Pookie and Ray Ray, you know, even if he was in her life or not, it wouldn't matter because she's under improper male leadership. So I just want to say this outright that not every man in a girl's life is actually a good father. You understand? Not every man that is married to a woman is a good husband. So we have to basically understand too, as men, that whether she had a father or not doesn't mean that she was under proper male leadership. And you'll see this as you go along in life. You'll understand that she was under proper male leadership in life. If you can't reason with her, again, you should leave, because again, she could be comparing you to her brothers, her father, her uncle. She's comparing you to their success, comparing to your success, and where she feels like you should be in life and stuff like that. But at the same time, not understanding how life really and truly operates, or not caring about your needs at the same time, understanding that you may have a long road ahead of you in succession, and it may take time for you to get into your own as a man. So at times it's best to leave, because this could cause a distraction from you. It could distract you from actually growing, because it may cause you to make decisions in that relationship that you are not prepared to make, or you don't want to make, or decisions that you feel like if you make those decisions, it could cause something wrong long term. And the thing about it is that I always tell my wife this all the time. Men think in men think in foresight. We think ahead. Women think in hindsight. They think after the fact. So a girl will sleep with a guy and be like, oh my goodness, what did I just do? I shouldn't have slept with him and stuff like that. But a man will draw up a whole equation as to why maybe we shouldn't sleep with this girl, or whatever it is, and then we'd say like, yo, F it, whatever happens happens. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's how men think. Whenever you come across that type of thing, is like I said before, it's best to leave. And with the first situation in which where she's comparing you to our next guy, what's gonna happen next is that she's gonna start disrespecting you, start putting you in a position where she feels like she's better than you, and then it's just gonna continue to go downhill. She's gonna treat you like crap, and then who wants to be in a relationship like that? Reason number 3, and this is the most least reason, and it is a part of the black community. It has happened. She lived her entire life taking care of herself, not having a man around to show her what it's like to actually have a man around. When I met my wife, I basically, the first thing I did when I met my wife while we were dating, the first thing I did was change her brakes and her oil for her. And she was like, she didn't know that, she should actually even be doing that. And then she realized that having a man around with that type of knowledge and wisdom was very, very helpful to her. Gave her another perspective. It gives women like when you do stuff like that, it gives them perspective of what to kind of expect a man to be. Now listen, you have people like Kevin Samuels and Andrew Tate and all these people, fresh and fit, talking about high value man and high value man. Basically, to me, that whole conversation has always been garbage. I agree with it to a certain extent, but not to the full extent. And we could always go into another video talking about that. You understand? But don't buy into this crap about high value man. You understand? If you're a decent man and you're a decent man, you are a high value man. You understand? You may not be a high earning man, which is different, but you are a man of value. Because anybody who is going to sit there and tell you that if you don't make a certain amount of money, you have no value, that person is garbage, because that person is telling you that if you don't make a certain amount of money, people should be allowed to treat you a certain way because you have no value. Do you see how quick that type of conversation falls apart? All right. Now, moving on to the third point. The third point is that she basically, like I was saying before, she basically lived her entire life taking care of herself, not understanding what it is like to have a man around to, show her certain things, show her what it's like for her to be taken care of, show her what it's like for her to just like be at home while you're at work, and you know etc. You understand? So when you come across such a woman where she's lived her entire life, she probably lived in poverty. She lived without a male role model teaching her, what it's like for, mommy and daddy to get along. Mommy and daddy, daddy going to work and mommy staying home and taking care of the children, taking care of the house, while daddy went out, took care of the bills, took care of the light, took care of the water, took care of the school expenses, took care of a lot of stuff, outside of the home. That it was the protector, that it was the one who led in knowledge and wisdom, showing mommy certain things, and then mommy passing that wisdom down onto the children. When a woman don't grow in that household, she has to basically develop those instincts of survival that she wasn't taught by her father, by herself. Now the problem with that is that when she learned them by herself, it's skewed. It's skewered. You understand? So basically it's kind of messed up. It's like she understand that she has to take care of herself a certain way, but you understand, she don't know why she like she knows why, because she knows why, because she's on her own. But she wasn't taught that basically, you could have a partner that could assist you in basically showing you that, you take care of certain needs, that person takes care of certain needs, and you can just like chill out and relax at your yard. You see me? And that's the one that's like problematic too. The independent black woman that I don't need a man and I don't trust you to lead me and stuff like that because I've been taking care of myself, and I don't need a man and stuff like that. And by the time they reach 30, they basically realize that they have nobody around them. And it kind of gets lonely when you're past 30 and you have no children and you have nobody to talk to. So that's basically a dilemma for our black women. They have to learn that. What do I suggest? You have to feel that person out. If that person is not taking in wisdom, reasoning, or logic, walk away. Walk away from that person. That's gonna always be my first advice. But if you're in a relationship where that person is actually very much so receptive of your knowledge and wisdom and your logics, then I would say give that woman a chance. So many times in the manosphere, we talk about how women make bad decisions and stuff like that. And yes, they do. They do, and they have made bad decisions. They've slept with men that they shouldn't have slept with. They've had children out of wedlock and stuff like that. And man, again, I need to say this again. I am not encouraging anybody to be a simp to a woman. I'm not encouraging anybody to be sympathetic to these women and things. I have to let you know, I'm just giving perspective and understanding of it. And yes, they basically made these bad decisions. They had a child by a guy that they shouldn't have had the child with. Some of them actually learn from it. But they don't understand that there's a consequence to it that they have to live with. It's just like being a murderer. You can't take it back. You have to live with the conscience of that, and you have to live with the consequence of doing that. Same thing of, doing certain things that's illegal. You get caught, you have to live with the conscience of that, and you have to live with the consequence of that. There's no getting around it. You have to serve your time with it. You understand? And that's something that we, as a society, I realize that now the black manosphere is doing their best to hold black women accountable for, poor decision making, etc., etc., etc. But I don't believe that we're being a little bit more compassionate to the ones that are actually, they realize that they did make a poor decision and they want to make better decisions in the future. They want to be with, I don't believe we're being compassionate enough to, I'm not saying to give these women a chance in terms of dating them and stuff like that, but, you know, I don't know. I don't even know what to say and stuff. I personally would not be, you know, I wouldn't, marry a woman with a child and stuff like that. But I have met women that basically they realize that they made a mistake. We all make mistakes. Everybody makes a mistake and thing like that. We can be, as human beings, we can be a little bit more compassionate to some of these women. And the reason why I say some is because you have some women that are straight up assholes with this thing. You must accept me because I'm a woman. No, you made a mistake. I don't have to. It's your choice to do that. It's my choice to do this. You can have your choice and I can have mine. Um, all I'm gonna say is that it's gonna be up to this guy wherever you feel like you can have compassion on that person and be sympathetic towards her. If she's really, really regretful about the choice and the decisions that she's made and she hasn't gone on to continue to live that type of life, then you may want to consider, may want to consider giving that person a chance. But if not, if they don't change, stuff like that, brush them off to the side. Have nothing to do with such. Don't sleep with them. Don't talk to them. Just avoid them like the plague, man. The third option, independent black woman. They live that type of life. They're set in their mindset. Very hard to change that person. Don't put yourself in a position where it's gonna be a number one and a number two situation where they're treating you badly and they're comparing you to another guy, disrespecting you and stuff like that. You lose your manhood that way. And then you'll end up like some of these guys killing some of these women, which is not right, You know what I mean? Like, why do you need to lose your freedom over it? Go and find a woman who is more respecting of you in that situation. Like I said before, my best advice is always going to be leave that person, go and find another woman. And I am not opposed to anyone, male or female, going outside their race and dating somebody who they believe, treats them better than, anybody else would. If you find love wherever you find love, so be it. What I don't respect is turning around and bashing your race. And we can always get in on that on another video, but that's gonna be just my short thing about it. I hope you guys liked the video. If you like it, hit the like button, share the video, and also feel free to donate. My Cash App and my PayPal is at the description in the video. Enough love and respect. Christian Jamaica Cooley out.